You're listening to Prosperity Report, Love and Money Podcast. I'm your host, Kanae Corder, best-selling author, international speaker, and clinical hypnotherapist specializing in financial therapy. Each week, we'll bring you actionable ideas, tips, tools, and resources to help you get the mindset shift you need to feel more confident personally and financially, so you can reduce stress, work less, and make a huge impact on your world and your income. Now, let's get into today's show. Do you ever wonder if your brain is secretly plotting against you? The truth is, it is. Your brain is full of negative messages and programs. These negative messages block you from success and cause stress. And right now, whether you know it or not, your brain is standing in the way of your success, the success you were meant to have. Over my years of clinical practice, I've created a system that helps uncover the counterproductive brain habits imprinted by society. If your business has not reached the level of success you would like it to, it's time to take action. Join me and one powerful group of achievers in my coaching community. It's the tribe for people who want to get guidance and connection so they can be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. Go to kanaecorder.com/community. Get the guidance and connection you need to take your business to the next level. Go to kanaecorder.com/community. Hey there, my Pros. I am so excited about today's episode because we haven't been talking about it this month yet, but this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, every October, I put my efforts towards getting the awareness out about domestic abuse, but also about financial abuse, because 99% of all domestic violence cases have financial abuse associated with them. But I'm not going to do it by myself. I brought a guest with me, and I want to introduce you to Bettina Benson of Kristyn, because the two of us together are going to collaborate to overcome domestic and financial abuse. So guys, please join me in welcoming our guest today, Bettina Benson. Hey, Bettina.
Hey, thank you for having me as your guest.
You are welcome. Thank you for showing up. I think we should go ahead and tell people that we've been working really hard to get this episode out, right?
I know. Second time is the charm. Second time is going to be the charm.
Exactly. So guys, just to give you a little bit of background, Bettina and I met back in March during International Women's Day, and we both attended an event, a civic dinner, and it was put on by the Lola, which is a woman co-working space here in Atlanta, Georgia. Bettina and I immediately clicked. She is feminine yet powerful, like me, I like to say, but I'm still working on my femininity, which is why I'm hanging around Bettina. So she has it down. And really the reason why she has it down is because she owns a clothing line called Kristyn, and it is a beautiful quality clothing line for women who are going out there to be powerful, but still want to be feminine. I just adore the things that she's doing. The other reason why we clicked is because we both have the same cause, which is domestic abuse. And then I add financial abuse to mine. So today we want to kind of talk to you. I wanted you guys to meet Bettina and Kristyn. And then I also want us to go a little deeper on domestic abuse, because we want to bring up that awareness and talk about the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation too. So Bettina, I'm going to say, where should we start? Maybe we start with how you got to starting Kristyn.
Yes, and thank you for the kind words and the warm welcome again. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to share my story on your podcast. I love what you're doing and your cause. So yeah, a little bit about how I got into this crazy world of fashion. I went to Florida A&M University, go Rattlers, and went there for undergrad and graduate school, obtained my MBA. From there, went into medical sales, but I dabbled a little bit in fashion. When I was in school, I actually opened a online boutique before Instagram and Facebook was the thing.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, I had, I'm like, oh, gosh, it probably would have been easier if I had all those tools to
Yes.
take advantage of. But hey, I learned a lot. So pretty much from there, I knew I wanted to explore starting my own line one day, but ended up going into medical sales and was in that industry for about 11 years, well, 10 years before I started, going down the path of doing the research and exploring creating my own line. So what prompted that was a change in my life, and I became a mother. So becoming a mother made me reevaluate my career path, and then also my style was changing because I'm not my own boss anymore. So this little baby is dictating like kind of where I'm going, what I'm doing, how much time I have. And, being stylish and fashionable and expressing myself through what I'm wearing has always been important to me, because you can say a lot in how you show up and what you wear.
Oh, yeah.
It's really important and often goes underestimated. So, and I started to notice a shift in the market. It was becoming harder for me to find those like dependable go-to pieces that I could buy, one of each color. People started to focus more on price. The quality started to go down. So that prompted me to explore, okay, if it's an opportunity or something that I need, I'm sure there's other women that are having this issue too, that want more options when it comes to a transitional wardrobe that transitions to work and then to their life after work.
Yeah, and know what I like about your line is it almost looks tailored. Like it looks like it was cut for the person wearing it. Like they got that dress for them.
Yes. So believe it or not, I hear that often. And that means that me and my team are doing our job. Because we work hard and we are often, stretched and don't have a lot of time. And the last thing that I want, or I know any other woman wants, is to go pick up a garment and then not have it fit well because it doesn't make you feel your best. So our focus is on fit first, and then the fashion, the colors, that comes after. So thank you for noticing that.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing that, because I'm a person who, one, I don't want to see everybody in my dress. Like, I know that a lot of people like to buy the trends, but I don't. I like classics. And so I like that about your line. And I want it to fit well because I want to put it on and then I don't want to worry about it again. I want it to be thoughtless, but thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to put you put the thought in it so I don't have to. Thank you.
I mean, the last thing, when you wake up in the morning, you have so many things going on. You have to get your kids up. You have to, try to fit in your meditation, get your mind right. The last thing you want to do is walk into your closet and feel a sense of anxiety. Like, I don't have anything to wear. So we do take that off of your plate.
Yeah. And I want to tell this little story about the last time Bettina and I were together. Your daughter was sick, right? She wasn't feeling well and she was up a lot of the night. And so Bettina was up with her. There's some stress around a sick kid. There's just stress around it. And then she couldn't go to school. So you had to be concerned with that and worry about, well, what's she going to do now? And now I have to take her with me on my meeting, and do I have to cancel, and blah, blah, blah. And whatever other worries you had about how this was going to shift your day. But one thing you said was, but you know what I wasn't worried about? What I was going to wear. I was like...
Exactly. And I think I had on, which is now one of my new favorite pieces, but I just got a sneak peek from our sample maker of this other piece that might take the place of that piece that I had on. But yeah, it's just this like button down shirt made out of the best fabric, Cupro. It feels like it's like butter on your skin. And just, it's easy but tailored. And I threw on my jeans and I just felt comfortable running around, having to get to the podcast, taking care of Chloe. So yeah, thank you.
That meant something, because I don't want to worry about clothing either. And I think most women don't want to worry about that. We want to look good in our clothes. And men, why did I say women? Nobody wants to worry about that. Now, Chloe Kristyn is a line for women, but when we talk about not worrying about your clothes and loving your fashion, everybody wants that. And let me tell you also what a man wants. A good-looking woman. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what? Everybody, again, presentation is important when it comes to professional life and personal life. So, and it's easy for men. I mean, they only have a few options, like a tailored suit, pants and a button-down shirt. But I mean, it gets a little bit tougher for women because we have curves and, so many options, and we don't know what works and what doesn't. So.
And I think that last part is what you said, that we don't always know what works and what doesn't. And that's unfortunate. And that's why you need a line that just fits you. You just find that line that fits you and then you stick with it. Would you agree?
Yes. Oh, I agree. I am the one that, like I said, I find it fits. I want it in all the colors. I don't want to have to work that hard.
Yes. I'm with you. I am so with you. Exactly. I don't want to have to work that hard. I know I want to have my go-to, and that's just it. So speaking of working hard, owning your business. So this is the Prosperity Report Love and Money podcast. And we talk about how to make money doing what you love. But a lot of times people have been conditioned to believe you have to work hard all the time. It's my belief that it doesn't have anything to do with hard work, because I know a lot of hardworking broke people, and I know a lot of hardworking unhappy people. But you and I have something in common. We have decided to embrace our passion and pursue our purpose. And we love what we do. And we're in the place where we're starting to make money doing it, because starting a business, it might look glamorous, especially a fashion business really looks glamorous. But there's a trade-off. There's some glamour to it, but there's some, real strategy and growing pains. Talk to us about the strategy, the growing pains, how did you get through? Because medical sales, let's not get it twisted, that's money. Everybody knows the ladies in medical sales make money, especially if they're good at it. You don't even really have to be good at it, but then the better you are at it, the more money you make. So we know you left some money on the table to do this. So what drives you and how do you keep that going?
Yes, I did leave money on the table, but you have to give up something in the beginning to get something. So I gave up the golden handcuffs because for me, this is about freedom. And I know that you preach the freedom gospel in your work, as when we talk about prosperity. So it's really a mindset shift. And I struggle. I am a self-funded company. There's no trust fund or windfall of cash. This is my family deciding to invest in me and invest in this.
No venture capitalist money.
No VC money. Nope. We're bootstrapped. But I'll remind myself, there are plenty of stories that you hear, women too, that have bootstrap companies and they're multi-million-dollar companies and they still own 100%. So my mindset is, if they can do it, I can do it. But more important, because I really try to focus on myself. If I can sell for somebody else, I can sell for myself. If I can excel selling something that someone else developed and then gave me to sell, I better well be able to sell something that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into developing and then go out and sell it. So that was my mindset moving forward. And then I think, again, like I said, you have to make the short-term fat sacrifices for the long-term gain. And for me, again, I wake up and I think about, what is my intention for doing this? And it goes back to freedom. It's not about money. Money's that in between to get me there. That's that bridge, the vehicle to get me there. But ultimately, it ties back to freedom. So if there's something that gets presented to me that ultimately it's going to result in a check, but it's going to take away my freedom, well, having that lens of my intention is a really great guide into helping me determine, do I really need to take that? Do I really need to go that route? Because if it's not that, then there's something out there that's better and that's going to get me to freedom. Yeah, so that's that's a huge, and I mean, gosh, I've been through it, that whole belief of like, I have to be working 24/7, then I'm tired, then it affects your family, then you feel guilty as a mom. There's a better way. There is a better way.
Yeah, there is.
I think we just have to see it and make the necessary shifts and adjustments to get there, to find out what works for us and works for the people that are supporting us too.
Absolutely. That freedom is something we teach in our Prosperous CEO Mastermind. And that's something I want to talk about next, is that freedom, because what we talked about in the beginning of this episode, or what I introduced in the beginning of this episode, is that not every woman is free. And I say woman because when it comes to domestic violence, it more heavily affects women, but there are men who are affected by it too, especially when it comes to financial abuse, because some men are captive by the woman who is the breadwinner and who may be verbally or emotionally, mentally abusive. So let's talk about domestic abuse. This is a cause that is near and dear to your heart. Can you tell us, how did this become your cause? How did it become so important to you?
There's so much going on in the world today. And when you look at who's in control, who's in power, it's mostly men, and it's mostly white men. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at situations where women are empowered, you see the positive shift and change there. Mm. And so ultimately, like I said, I go back to intention. My intention is to boots on the ground, not talking the talk, but walking the walk, to empower women, which that empowerment term, I think it's been overused and abused.
Yeah, it has, but it is what it is. It was still needed. Even though it's trendy, it's still needed.
Exactly. So, in one of the segment of women that, that have had their power taken away, and in some cases, like you said, if it's not physical, don't even kind of realize what's happening, especially if they grew up in that environment, is women that are in situations where there's intimate partner violence. So this was a cause that I wanted to support. I do think there's a way to be, we call it like conscious capitalism. So there's a way to, have a business and make money, but I also think you should be supporting a cause. So this is a cause that I chose. The organization that we partner with is AVLF, that's Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation. Their domestic violence program is in collaboration with their Safe Families office. And so the Safe Families office is the only lawyer staff courthouse-based resource for survivors of intimate partner abuse in Georgia who want to obtain a temporary protective order. So that TPO is kind of like the highest level of protection that you can secure if you want to, go about it through the legal system, which I think, or anybody that's involved in the legal system would, say that's probably the best way to go about it. So the AVLF, they provide consultation services and direct legal representation for survivors of intimate partner abuse. And in that process, each consultation includes a discussion of their legal options, safety planning advice, referrals to other appropriate forms of assistance. And it also focuses on they respect the survivor's opinions and goals. So if filing that civil TPO or temporary protective order is appropriate, and that's what the survivor desires to do, the AVLF offers pro bono assistance with completing those legal documents representing the survivor in front of the judge. And then the survivors also have access to the AVLF social workers who can provide supportive services. And they also have access to a variety of resources to help them navigate the process of, leaving their abuser.
Yeah, that is so good. Like, you just gave so much great information that we'll need to break down. But one of the things that I know that you're doing is you're putting on an event to help get this awareness out even further. You're partnering with the Prosperity Report and Presidential Lifestyle. You're partnering with Young Gentry, but then there's also going to be attorneys from Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation there, because the event is in connection with AVLF, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So I've been partnered with them for 2 years. Last year we did the Purple Dress Project. So we chose, and I actually let the team at the AVLF choose 2 styles of dresses, and we did them in purple.
I still got to get those dresses.
Yes, they're fabulous dresses, especially for the professional ladies. So yeah, we did that. And through the month of October, a portion of the revenues from the sale of those dresses went directly to the AVLF. And this year, because we're like, okay, what can we do that's more like general that, men can buy, that can be bought as gifts? We decided to do loungewear. So I launched loungewear, piloted loungewear a couple of holidays ago, and it did really well. And that was on our goals that we were going to relaunch loungewear as a category in Q4 of this year. And so that relaunch of loungewear is kicking off in October in partnership with Young Gentry, Prosperity Report, the Lola, and the AVLF for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we have created purple pajamas. They're this great purple gingham print. And then we also have black and white for people that want something more classic. And Young Gentry created a lavender scent at my recommendation because I love a lavender scent.
I do
and
too.
Lavender's purple. So it just kind of happened to work out, like a little bit self-serving, but and we're selling luxury sleepwear boxes. And a portion of those revenues go directly to the AVLF to help fund their effort.
That is so awesome. I love that. What I love about it so much is that, so you have the purple pajamas and you can sleep well knowing that you are providing some peace for another woman because, we talked about in the beginning, there are a lot of worries out there and what you don't have to worry about, what's keeping you up at night. But this to me says, I'm lounging, I'm at peace, and I know that I'm providing peace to some other woman by wearing these pajamas.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Personally, I'm like, let's not do the work hard, party hard, work hard, sleep hard. So yeah, we're going to work hard, but we're also going to relax hard. And you can definitely relax in a nice set of pajamas and you're helping somebody else at the same time.
Right. So powerful. You talk about women's empowerment and, just shifting the level of power because already I've said to you before that I believe that we all have to band together. And like you said a few minutes ago, men want to participate as well because even though there's this power differential, we still have to find a way to work together. And any cause is all of our cause. And so I like that there's also that option. Men can buy it as a gift for another woman and be part of the cause because we got to work together, not just on leveling this playing field, but also in this cause, because domestic abuse a lot of times is happening by men. So if men are seeing their brothers or their uncles or whoever, their friends committing this, they got to do something. They got to say something. They can't just let it happen. Because who else is she can't tell him. Another woman definitely can't tell him. So another man, this is the only way that he's going to kind of open his eyes and see what he's doing. I think I might have mentioned to you before that I had a patient who was abusive and he went through hypnotherapy with me and is no longer abusive. It's an incredible story. And I'll tell it another day. But he has brothers that still are abusive. And he's trying right now, working through how to present to them how they need to shift what they're doing. Because he doesn't want to come off as like, that self-righteous, like, oh, okay, I changed. It's time for you to change.
Yeah, preachy. Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, he now sees the era because they were raised that way. Their father was that way.
It normalizes it when that's the environment that you grew up in.
Yes.
And it's hard to see it any different. But, he's the catalyst for change. I think that's kind of referred to in the spiritual world as like the chain breakers. And so he's positioned himself to be a chain breaker. And I do believe that when you decide to make a change and break a generational curse, you don't only change it for yourself, but you change it for your whole family moving forward and past. And so I think we all, when we know better, we all have the responsibility to do better.
Yes, so true. You know what? That was so powerful that I think I want us to close on that. But guys, I got a little surprise for you. This is going to be a 2-parter. We're going to come back. Yes. We're going to come back next week. And Bettina and I are going to dive deeper in this. First of all, we're going to find out what Bettina's idea of prosperity is, because I did not ask her that question. So thank goodness this is a 2-parter so we can find that out. But we want to answer some questions. So we got some questions in about domestic abuse, financial abuse. Also, we'll answer more questions about the event that's coming up, because you need to know about it. We're going to tell you right now, but we're going to answer some more questions. We're just going to get deeper. So, Bettina, before we close or say goodbye, can you tell us, one, about the event, where the event's going to be if somebody is in Atlanta and they want to attend? But 2, I'd also like you to tell them how they can reach you, how they can find you, whether it's social media, your website, however they can, interact with you, and also purchase one of those beautiful purple dresses or the purple pajamas.
Yeah, so we are having the Purple Pajama Party at the Lola on October 30th. And so there, the AVLF will be in attendance. Myself, Young Gentry, Kanae, you'll be there.
Yes.
And the AVLF will be, sharing information on their organization and their resources and how women can get involved, because one of the goals of the AVLF is to get women of means more involved in this cause, because it's typically seen as a lower socioeconomic issue, and that is just simply not the case. And so we will continue to educate on that. And then, Scarlett from Young Gentry and I will share our stories and talk about the product. The product will be available for purchase at the event. And if we sell out before, then you can pre-order your pajamas. You can go to my website, which is www.chloekristyn.com. That's CHLOEKRISTYN.com. Sign up for our newsletters, and you will be kept in the loop about the event, and then you will be able to purchase tickets. They're going to be $25. That's going to go to the AVLF. And with your ticket, that includes food and drink. So that is not a lot to pay when you get an unlimited bar and some nice gourmet food.
No, that is nothing to pay, especially in Atlanta. Well, any city nowadays. I went to lunch in LA. It was $50. I was like, lunch should not be $50.
Exactly. And the AVLF, their biggest fundraising event of the year is the wine tasting, which I'm so sad that I'm going to be missing because I have a trunk show in Birmingham. But the wine tasting, the room is filled with wine vendors, and you get to taste all of this, delicious wine. So we're previewing the wines that are going to be at the wine tasting at this event. So that's what will be served.
Nice.
Yes. And then you can find me on social. So we're on Instagram and Facebook, and that's going to be at Chloe Kristyn. So at CHLOEKRISTYN.com. And I look forward to seeing you guys there.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. We're going to answer your questions. So make sure you come back next week, because you're going to love it. So I'll see you guys. Same time, same place.
Same place.
Yes. All right. And we're out.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you want more love and money conversations, subscribe to this podcast. Also, tell your friends about us. I'll see you next episode. But in the meantime, head on over to KanaeKorder.com for more tips, tools, and resources. And go ahead and leave us a comment if you like. We'd love to hear from you. This show is not to replace professional counsel. The best advice comes from a professional you know. The topics discussed in this podcast are general in nature and are for entertainment and informational purposes only. We encourage you to meet with a professional to discuss your specific situation, whether financial or therapeutic. That's all for now. I'll see you sooner. Remember, no matter what anybody ever tells you, you can have wealth in all of its forms. Believe it, and you will soon see it.